Mazda had a straightforward clarification for why we had traveled to Germany to drive its made-in-Japan cutting-edge Mazda 3 hatchback in model pretense. Such early models are permitted to meander German streets. Not at all like in Japan where they would need to pass thorough investigations. Goodness, and Mazda has a specialized focus in Germany with engineers as anxious as we were to involvement and wrap their heads around the new 3 Skyactiv X pressure start-able inline-4 gas motor. So that is the manner by which we came to pilot a few mad dark Mazda 3 test donkeys controlled by Skyactiv X motors and wearing fake current aero bodywork, and lacking airbags, strength control, and completely operational aerating and cooling, on a muggy summer day in Frankfurt. For an inside and out summary of how the Skyactiv X motor functions, you can get a scoop and burrow through our clarification. The shorter variant is this. Mazda needed to construct a homogeneous charge compression ignition (HCCI) fuel motor, which can combust ultra-lean gas, air blends for huge productivity pickup, yet discovered it excessively unpredictable and troublesome, making it impossible to oversee. Justifiably in this way, given HCCI motors utilize high-pressure proportions to accomplish start without start plugs. To work legitimately, that requires fine control over the air, fuel blends and temperatures inside every barrel. Progressing between lean pressure start and wealthier start, a need given the previous prejudice for higher motor velocities and high stack circumstances, for example, speeding up, just intensifies these issues. Rather, Mazda accomplishes pressure start utilizing a start plug as an ignition control. This produced another acronym, SPCI, for Spark Plug Controlled Compression Ignition. It empowers the Skyactiv X to utilize to a great degree lean fuel blends like HCCI motor, the sort that are so lean they can't be combusted by means of start, just by pressure, yet it does as such finish a significantly more extensive swath of driving situations, including under direct load and higher motor velocities. While working with pressure start, Skyactiv X blends air and fuel amid the admission stroke, as it does amid start. Just much less fatty, however, then infuses a moment bit of fuel just before the power stroke and touches off it utilizing the start plug. The fire main spreads out and down while additionally raising the barrel weight sufficiently high, alongside the pressure from the cylinder, to combust the lean essential air, fuel blend. A little root sort supercharger additionally grows the C working window by sustaining more air into the motor, inclining out the blend adequately for pressure start even at higher motor velocities. Mazda gets the turbocharged CX-9's cooled fumes gas distribution, EGR, set up to hold ignition temperatures under tight restraints and furthermore utilizes a high-weight fuel infusion framework to enable every burning 2 cycles second infusion of fuel to atomize all the more completely, staying away from sediment development from inadequate consume. Most shockingly, at any rate in model shape, the Skyactiv X is basically a changed Skyactiv G motor like that in the current Mazda 3. Just the cylinders are outstandingly unique, and where the G has variable emission valve timing, the X adds it to the fumes side to empower better control over valve occasions. This should keep costs closer to the Skyactiv G than to Mazda's pricier 2.2-liter Skyactiv D diesel motor, which requires costly outflows gear and a sturdier square plan. Mazda is anticipating around 188 strength and 170 pounds-to-foot of torque from the 2.0-liter Skyactiv X. The present 2.0-liter Skyactiv G motor, as fitted to the 3, makes 155 drive and 150 pounds-to-foot of torque, putting the X on a comparable plane as the up-level 3's 184 horsepower 2.5-liter 4. Mazda additionally guarantees the X will be up to 30% more proficient than the littler Skyactiv G. We'll attempt to affirm those cases when we in the end test a creation spec Skyactiv X in around 2 years when the cutting-edge 3 achieves dealerships. In its present condition of tune, the model motor is practical. That is important simply because this Skyactiv is unique to the point that its working didn't appear like a given until the point that we had keyed the start for ourselves. Mazda's specialists are working on a more aspiring plane, in any case, and are resolved that they didn't need the X's effectiveness to accompany any bargains that would undermine the brand's zoom picture. They're in good shape, on the grounds that the X is bounty responsive and feels about as intense as the current Mazda 3's bigger 2.5-liter 4. We had expected the X's enthusiasm may hang amidst operation, with stifled reactions like those felt in half and halves that can quickly run exclusively on their moderately powerless electric engines. That does not appear to be the situation, and the motor is moderately tractable running under pressure start. Should your increasing speed needs outpace his working parameters, the X changes to ordinary start, the faintest trace of supercharger whimper moving among motor clamors well known to any individual who has driven a 4-chamber Mazda as of late. Indeed, even under pressure start, the motor is smooth and calm. The motor carries on so correspondingly in every start express that it takes fixation to distinguish which one is in play. Cross a smooth street at bring down paces in sim mode and listen firmly enough, and you can simply make out a diesel-like chatter. At higher velocities or on coarse street surfaces, you'll never distinguish it. Since the X will probably enter semi-lighter stack utilize and can remain in that ultra-shunt mode even at higher RPM, we are told choosing lower outfit proportions has little impact on efficiency. Amid our drive in the manual transmission model, we could leave the change lever in 4th or 5th gear rather than 6th and remain in C while exploiting the motor's more honed reactions to dice through city activity. Up until this point, the switch over from start to pressure start is the main issue requiring consideration outside of conclusive, generation-prepared motor adjustment. The procedure is consistent, with 0 vibrational prompts that the X has picked a start sort and completely dedicated to it. In any case, it is discernible, on account of bounteous thump explosion, that stays nearby whenever the motor isn't completely in a solitary start setting. Amid clean advances from start to pressure start or back, the X emanates its stammered thumping soundtrack for about a moment or two. In any case, at whatever point the PCs move near one start state from the other, the thumping delays. This condition, in which fuel blends aren't exactly set for the coveted condition of start, happened at whatever point the motor was turning at low RPM, a say good condition, yet stacks were direct, favoring flash start. As indicated by Mazda, there's nothing inalienably awful about this thumping marvel. It's a vital admission to the complex, on-the-fly switchover between start sorts. The automaker intends to veil the sound, likely utilizing protection around the motor to make it less observable. Smothering the X's more irregular clamors will be basic, since like the most recent CX-5, the new 3, even in a pre-production appearance, is recognizably more quieted than its forerunner. A relentless 115 miles per hour on the superhighway seemed like 80 miles per hour in ours of late with Drew 2015 Mazda 3 hatchback. The insides of the autos we drove were completely incomplete and needed trim, so no judgments can be made about quality or plan. Our constrained presentation to quick, awe-inspiring streets amid our drive indicated that the new 3 is similarly as fulfilling to drive as the present model, with the advantage of a more created ride and more refined wheel control on uneven surfaces. The directing is as yet a delight to utilize, albeit last adjustment of the frameworks is continuous. To put it plainly, the 3 feels each piece like a development of the present 10 best cars winning model. Just now, notwithstanding being enjoyable to drive, the following 3 guarantees better efficiency, more power, and an accessible working pressure start gas motor. We have just 2 years to choose which accomplishment is more noteworthy.